Discord server, and they'll be available to you so you guys can get your hands on all of these juicy TvTs and all the rest of it. With that said, let's see what goes down. As you have to the top left hand side our blue Terran player. This is ByuN. Going up against the red Terran to the top right hand side, it is INnoVation. So a TvT, and I mean obviously we just saw a bit of TvT, but this is arguably between two players which are much more evenly matched. Obviously INnoVation. It's funny because I would say when I was casting full time for the first time back in like 2016, I want to say, I casted this event called the ByuN Star Masters, and the ByuN Star Masters was this Chinese event like this one, and it was actually daily. So we casted, I think it was like every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we could cast like 3 times a week, and ByuN was an absolute monster in this event, and his TvT was starting back then. I mean, players like INnoVation weren't playing in these events a lot, but ByuN was playing like every single day, and he was playing against players like Gumiho or Live. There was a point where ByuN was on something like a 78 map win streak in the ByuN Star Masters, not on ladder, on like a massive online tournament. It's insane. If you go back through his Aligula, you'll find it. He was on something like a 21 match win streak or something. It was really just crazy. Like, if you guys go back and look at that, it was in 2016. His Aligula back then is just insane. It's just like he just wins and wins and wins. And back then I really thought ByuN was just the master TvT. I didn't think anyone was ever going to beat the guy. Because it just felt like everything he did in TvT was just correct. Like, he had the answer to every aggressive open. He had the plays to kind of come back in games. He just had he was just able to do anything. So really interested to see what he's going to be able to show us here today, because I think right now INnoVation is definitely the better player, but ByuN's TvT always has like a special place in my mind because of the because I've just watched him be so dominant back then, and knowing that he is possible and capable of that. This is by the way a bit of a different opening from both players from the get-go. The one wax expansion right away from ByuN. INnoVation goes double gas and will, instead of building a starport or anything, just build up a command center on the natural. So he has a slightly later CC. Reapers are going to dance around here. ByuN's actually in a bit of trouble. Loses the SCV on the command center because his Reaper took a little bit of damage. So that's a little bit of a pain. I mean, obviously losing an SCV kind of sucks as well. We're not going to be seeing as that second Reaper as well. I mean, with the Hellion too, this might just be a bit of a real bit of trouble right now, because all of a sudden 2 Reapers and a Hellion against just a Reaper. Marine on the way up, or 2 Marines on the way up. There's a Hellion 2 from ByuN. He needs that. He needs to try and sit defensive on the high ground. He's going to try and come down right now. The Marines are going to jump forwards thanks to that Reaper grenade, and he is actually going to be able to push this away. Might even want to try and chase with the Hellion to get the Reaper kill. Nice blocking from INnoVation. He actually used the Hellion to kind of set the Hellion of ByuN off course just slightly. ByuN's really diving for this. Is he even going to get it in time? Oh my god, this is going to be so low. That one Hellion, was it worth the Hellion for the Reaper? I don't think so. Hellion goes down. What now? Well, ByuN's getting his own cycle on the way up. Again, his own units are just a little bit slow to come out here in comparison to his opponents. And that's very, very simply because he just obviously went for the expansion that little bit faster. And what's amazing for INnoVation is his expansion is now ahead of his opponents because he was able to cause a delay there. So that worked out very well for him. Great start. It's up to Muslim in the chat as well. I do see you spamming away. It's just difficult to respond when I've only got Twitch chat open on my phone. It's very difficult to read and also pay attention to the game compared to usual. It's just not my usual setup. What can I say? Hashtag caster excuses, blame the peripherals, you know. Getting my excuses out there early. What's up, man? Though, good to see you. I mean, didn't doubt you would be here when there's some, it's some decent Terran level play, I guess, in comparison to your own. It's decent. It's decent. Anyways, in seriousness, what's going on right now? I mean, a Hellion just watching this top side. This medevac was empty, looking as though it was more so kind of scouting than anything else. I thought for a moment he might send it across and hope it gets scouted as like a fake to keep INnoVation back. Because right now, ByuN is really not ready to deal with Cyclones. I mean, there's one siege tank here, which is actually coming forwards as well. I mean, these Marines are coming over too. This is a disaster. Like, these Marines are going to be, well, shut down. First Cyclone gets taken down. The tank will siege. If INnoVation just feels as though he has enough, he could just push up the ramp. He doesn't. I think it's a tough call, because actually if he pushes up and focuses the tank, he'll probably lose a couple of the low health Cyclones, plus the Marines will get some good damage done as well. I think INnoVation is actually right not to push up there. I think if I scan this, I push up here, and I lose everything, and I realise it's a bad idea afterwards. I think INnoVation realised that before I did, so it's a good play from him. Just plays it safe, and as well, INnoVation's in the sort of position where he doesn't need to take risks like that. He's ahead a few SCVs because of the opening. He's already got his extra production down, and that's actually the big thing here. You know, INnoVation is on the 3 racks, he's got stim pack started, plus 1 attack on the way. INnoVation just has to survive right now, and all of a sudden he's going to be in an amazing position compared to ByuN, who right now is, well, just sort of all in. You know, and I think you have to say, I mean, maybe not all in, he's building a 3rd CC, but it feels all in because he's so far behind on the production that if this attack doesn't work or do some serious damage, I think INnoVation just sort of says, well, you know what, I've got so many units now, what are you going to do? Those tanks do find 2 of the Cyclones already, so that's a really nice startup here from ByuN. He's obviously looking to try and get as much done as possible. Tank's going to siege up while supported by the Liberator. It's obviously going to be interesting as well. Stimpack is very close to finishing here as INnoVation will start to lose a couple of depots, so this attack's got something going for it now. I mean, Liberator is still alive, Marines are going to have to come in here and stim. And again, here we go, the stim's going to be the difference. The Cyclones are actually getting hit by the tanks, which is really nice for INnoVation because it's kind of what he needs. The Cyclones to tank a shot or 2 without actually dying. And he will clean this up, but comes out of this 6 workers behind. That one last tank does actually unsiege, drops back down to be able to pick that off there. Ooh, a Liberator comes into position. That is going to be a few dead SCVs. The Marine count here is amazing to deal with this, so actually gets, what, 4 or 5 workers before he gets killed off? Wow, ByuN finds himself right back into this game in terms of worker count, you know, 51 to 39, looking good, but again, here's my issue. Where does he stand in terms of actual units? Well, at the moment, he's sat with 2 Marines and 2 tanks, so he's very defensive. He's got that 3rd CC out in position as well, so that's something which INnoVation, if he caught onto, should be able to kind of shut down and do damage against. Turrets are not going to be here in time, so INnoVation's going to get rid of these initially, which means he's probably going to be able to keep them down. He's also going to find these tanks just kind of dropping in here right away, and this is again the issue at the moment. Nice micro from Medevac, keeps that siege tank alive. It's going to be seeing those Marines continuing to fight at the moment. 1 tank going down, that Medevac getting lower. So just a few Marines here chasing this away. He's now down to just 2 Marines, but the 1 siege tank is so low, the 1 Marine left over is not going to be able to make this work out, unfortunately. INnoVation gets a lot done here, though. He delays some of the production, he gets rid of the turrets, which maybe allows him to keep on pushing forwards in this sort of position. Did that tank go down? Oh, he did actually get the kill there in the end. That 1 Marine, an absolute hero here. By the way, I really don't like Darkness Sentry. Like, these Marines literally look dark brown, like, what is this? This isn't red. Is that just me? Like, this isn't red. That's so silly. The colours are just a little bit off. I really think they need to fix the lighting on this map, which I know is something which people have harped on about so much, but I definitely think it's very true. Anyways, this is INnoVation's power play because he got rid of those turrets before. He knows that his opponent doesn't have a lot of units to spread out, so drop is still very powerful here, and you can see him, he targeted that tank down so quickly. He also has combat shields and medevacs against no medevacs, and I think this is where ByuN was always going to have a little bit of trouble, and yes, he's cleaning it up, but in fact INnoVation just had more production. INnoVation had those bio upgrades a little bit sooner, and that's obviously massive, and now he stims into the 3rd base as well, where, oh look at that, a fresh set of mules. That's going to be a juicy pick-off or 2 right there, and we're going to be seeing those all going down. Really nicely done by INnoVation. Again, just pulls ByuN apart towards the last stage of this. Yes, it was scary for a moment too, I don't think anyone's going to doubt that, it was scary. It definitely could have gone ByuN's way. I mean, he had the advantages, he created an advantage for himself. It's just, again, he was that far behind initially, that even when he did create an advantage, there was disadvantages he had to overcome, and he wasn't able to do that here. INnoVation really did what he needed to. And well, now this siege tank comes back away over to the right hand side. Stimpack and combat shields from ByuN currently on the way up. Armory drops down from ByuN as well in the main base. Another drop into the main, and I mean, this is just frustrating too. I mean, he's actually pretty much just shutting down production on these barracks. You're going to see those Marines try and push on in. The SCV's pulled him too. This wasn't actually the best from INnoVation. Things are getting better for ByuN as he has his own stimming combat coming up here. He has 1-1 upgrades, and that is something to keep in mind. INnoVation didn't start 2-2, by the way, did he? He got the armory in the end. ByuN has his own armory coming up as well, so 2-2 upgrades could be something which whoever starts them first could start to maybe take a bit of an advantage, and there it is, INnoVation, just as I was talking about this, has taken the 2-2 upgrades and got those going. So +2/+2 on the way now. Command center coming down the 4th base as well for INnoVation here on the top side. 1 Marine goes down. Does he really elevate the tanks up here? No, I think he just gone on the low ground and he just, well, shots away production, right? It's just 3 shots basically. Drop the Marines up here, and if his opponent tries to fight in, well, he's got the tanks to support. He's actually going to have a 3rd tank in a moment or two, which makes this even scarier. 3 tanks against Marines, it's just so powerful. And, well, obviously the tank siege up here from ByuN as well, but they're not actually in range of this, you know, the opposing tanks, right? So he is going to lose production. He loses the reactor on the barracks at the front already. These couple of tech labs, at least those are safe. They're really kind of in the middle of it. Marines going to stem in towards the mineral line. They're going to find some SCVs, some mules, and again, it's economy being denied here as ByuN just can't even defend 2 Marines to his 3rd base at the moment. And he obviously gets some Marines over there in the end. That's just how little he has to commit over there. He didn't already have something in position. Tanks continue to fire away. Some Marines trying to come up on the high ground as well. And you're going to see tanks trying to push forwards here. Nice target fire by INnoVation. He gets rid of one of those tanks very quickly. In the end, ByuN might just about clean this out. He's going to get rid of the Marines. He's going to get that tank. And he'll get the tank on the low ground too. But, I mean, that really is just about to clean up. And there's going to be reinforcements en masse here from INnoVation. He's on the 4th base, saturated, 73 workers. You know, he's looking so good in that regard. I mean, INnoVation even holds the watchtower in the center, if that has much impact. INnoVation, I mean, close spawns here on the Darkness Sentry, just keeps on rallying forwards. He does lose his Marine in the middle, so ByuN does see these drops heading to the left-hand side. The Sensor Tower will reconfirm these. As we are going to be seeing those, he's just going to unload on the far left-hand side, and you know, just going to have the medevacs just unloading here, getting ready to go. Getting ready to fight into this, getting ready to see what might happen. Just going to stim away again, though. Obviously doesn't really want to fight unless he can find himself a better fight. And with the medevacs, it is a better fight once he spreads out. Meanwhile, INnoVation is still rallying up the top side, pushing on forwards, and just seeing what position he can get himself into now. Scan drops on top of these couple of tanks, and these Marines is getting set to go. A lot of Marines unloading here at the moment. Just going to be seeing a couple of tanks just getting shut down as they siege up. Really not pretty at all. And again, INnoVation. If you missed the start of this game, guys, it's actually very interesting because INnoVation took a bit of a lead, and ByuN's counter-attack actually put him in a good spot. But because INnoVation had the lead initially, INnoVation was already set up stim pack way further ahead. He had his extra barracks way further ahead, and once ByuN finally got himself, you know, his replay format, if in no other ways. So do watch out for that. As we get ready to jump into game number 2, guys, we do have to the top left. Our blue Terran player here is ByuN. He's down a game in this best of 3. And to the bottom right, our red Terran player is INnoVation. So, game number 2, let's see what happens as INnoVation is obviously already pulling SCVs across the map. This already looks to be a little bit of a cheeky proxy play from him. So he's going to go for this and see what he can do with the proxy 2 Rax Reaper. So Rax gas into a second Rax here as well in the next few moments. And it's set up and ready to go. What's up, Austin in the chat? How you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while. Looking forward to seeing you in Austin next week. You are going to be in Austin, right? I'm just assuming you're going to be in Austin. Hope you don't run into me in the bracket. Might be an early exit for you if you do. Alright. What's going to be setting up here for ByuN now? It is a double gas opening, so it is a better opening than if this was the one gas expand that he did in the last game. So instantly this is a good setup to help him deal with the 2 Rax Reaper here. But it's definitely not over for INnoVation. You know, there's definitely ways for him to play around this. There's definitely ways for him to make this work. 2 Reapers currently just on the way up here from Inno, so just getting this going. Just getting this ready. Factory's currently on the way up here from ByuN, and we are just going to be seeing this single SCV of INnoVation just coming along. And he's just going to be heading back home, so getting that back home. There's no scout from ByuN, and so INnoVation will keep his Reaper here and just wait for 2 Reapers at the same time. Second Reaper about to finish up, and again, this will generally be the time where you push on forwards as he finds the first Reaper so quickly from ByuN. That's kind of unfortunate, actually. Wow, the Reaper just dies. That's huge, because this isn't just going to be 2 Reapers for long. This is going to be a 3rd Reaper before there's 1 Reaper of ByuN now. Finds an SCV on the low ground, getting ready to expand. Yes, that's not going to happen. Sorry about that. He does start a starport as well, ByuN. INnoVation doesn't commit up this ramp for a little while. I just feel like he could have been in a better position to get that Reaper as it pops. Now it's able to kind of pull back a little bit, hide in the mineral line. Hellion obviously going to be coming into play as well. Good grenade positioning from INnoVation 2 helps him a lot with this so far. Another grenade going down, that one Reaper low on health will definitely want to try and pull back and stay alive if possible. Good micro, although it is targeted down, he does get the Reaper kill, and well, now the Hellion goes down too, but is that a Hellion? It is a Hellion. I was going to say if that was a Cyclone then maybe, but obviously Cyclones take so long to build. I don't think ByuN's really had the time to build a Cyclone in this game. That Hellion's going to run. SCVs helping to surround Reapers is actually... He's not able to get that Hellion kill, and suddenly this has gone badly for INnoVation. Suddenly he lost all of his Reapers trying to chase down those units. I say it's gone badly, it obviously started to go worse. I wouldn't say it's, still gone badly overall, because if we look at this here, INnoVation is still set up with a factory at home, starts up his starport. He's even going to float one of his barracks forward, so I think overall INnoVation did enough. He comes out with a 4-worker lead. And, well, he's a little bit later on the starport, but his own starport's coming up, so he should be able to deflect this Liberator without too much of an issue. So the Cyclone pops out, and you see Reaper's still applying pressure here. Comes in, he actually gets another kill. He's going to die for this Hellion again. This Hellion getting so low. He needs to be careful. He does see the Liberator now. I think this Reaper's dead. I don't think he can actually get the Hellion kill. In the end, he can hop down, I guess. He's still going to get connection, but man, the healing came in just in time. A couple of health, and that's all it needs for this Reaper to stay alive for the moment. Barracks lands in the main, just being a nuisance, being an annoyance. Not really looking to do anything at all, just helps him to scout as well, of course, see what's going on, and you can see now INnoVation, his natural command center, is on the way up, so he is able to start expanding here. As this Liberator is going to come down the right hand side in towards the main base and get this ready to go. Issue is, Starport's finished up a Viking already. There's units here to defend, so really INnoVation can just deflect very easily, and so ByuN, I think very intelligently, is just going to hold back on that Liberator and just say, okay, well, if I instead just wait a moment or two right now, then I can just sort of sit here, I can just sort of wait, and then eventually I can come on in towards the main base. Maybe when these units have actually moved across, maybe when he thinks my Liberator isn't around and in position, etc. Orbital Command will start up to maneuver on the natural, and that is his big lead at the moment, about like 30-40 second advantage on the command center. And he's already a couple of workers ahead as well, and pushing across the map with Cyclones. I'm actually a little bit worried about ByuN at the moment, because he's going into Cloak Banshees, but that's not going to be too pretty if he loses the Banshees to the Cyclones right from the get-go. He tries to kite the other way, but he runs into another Cyclone, so, well, that's obviously an awful start. You got a little bit of damage on one of the Cyclones, but to lose a Banshee, that really, really hurts. Well, those Cyclones are going to be pushing in towards the natural in a moment or two. INnoVation going to get this set up and ready to go. I mean, again, it's just one Cyclone right now, though, out of ByuN. He doesn't have anything else to really back this up. I mean, a Banshee, which can cloak, has definitely got potential. It's definitely got possibility. He locks onto it right away. The cloak just isn't there. He uses the high ground instead. Tank will siege up. Cyclone isn't being dealt with just yet. It will be taken down now. There's the cloak to save it from the next Banshee. And that's going to be it for the moment. This is going to be a push away. That's going to be the Cyclone shut down. Sorry guys, I know we're a little bit laggy at the moment here. I'm not sure why that is. Hopefully internet just stabilizes in a moment or two. It's not affecting the stream, it is just on the game. So apologies for that. Obviously again, we're just roughing it today in terms of the stream. So hopefully this just gets sorted out in a moment or two. I imagine it'll just pass on by, especially if it's not affecting the stream. It's probably one of those things that'll just be fixed up in a quick moment. So apologies for all that slightly here and there. I mean, tanks being built by both players. ByuN is just building a third CC in location, which honestly he needs to do, because this orbital right now from INnoVation is just on the way up. So that's his third base. It's already in the main, so he already has an orbital coming up in the main, and he can lift it up and relocate it here if you'd like to as well. Just broke up, and it is a couple of Vikings though, but the first scan comes down. Is there a second scan? There is actually, so you can scan again. These shots on the Banshees are so spread out though. Oh my god, the one Banshee with energy left on it has 2 hit points. The other Banshee does run out of energy right there. That was like the worst possible scenario. This one Banshee has to be careful, because obviously there is missile turrets. Okay, there's one more scan too. INnoVation loses some mining time, but I mean, other than that, his army is still very strong here, because obviously ByuN just lost a lot of his army supply in terms of those Banshees. So all of a sudden, it's just going to be GG, and INnoVation is going to take game number 2. And that's going to be INnoVation taking game 2 and the series. ByuN just taps out, doesn't feel as though he can